that day for me.
June 11th.
All right, thank you. Afternoon, Miss Lewis.
I have a voice, so I can't talk that much.
Oh, okay. I guess we will get started as soon as courtroom two gets on with us. Courtroom two, would you like me to get started or are you waiting on other people?
Step by judge, we got other guys coming from the holding cell.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Judge, we're ready. We're gonna
All
start.
right. Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help reduce the spread of the virus. If you have an objection to your case being handled by video this afternoon, please let me know when you come before me. You have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we are providing you with public defenders this afternoon if you choose to utilize their services. Who do we have first?
Position number 8.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hawkins. You have been charged in case 24 CR 00388 with battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. If you are on the line with me, I appreciate you being here, but if I'm not directly speaking with you, if you will please mute your device for me. Thank you. Does Ms. Hawkins have a history? Mr. Howard?
First arrest level 1.
Thank you. Afternoon, Mr. Graham.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This incident took place on May 28, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a dispute call at 4 Cedar Run in Sandy Springs. Jaden Young advised an argument with the mother of his child, Essence Hawkins, became physical when she punched him repeatedly with a closed fist in the back of the head. She also pulled his hair, causing him to fall while he was holding their 9-month-old child. Initials are JY. He sustained a cut to his knee as a result. Our office has spoken with Mr. Young. He says that the two are in a relationship. They do live together at the incident location. They do share one child together. He confirmed the events in the warrant, stated that this has never happened before. He's not in fear of her and prefers to have no violent contact. He's okay with her returning back to the residence, and he indicated he will be on Zoom this afternoon. Your Honor, based on the statements from the victim, we know that this is her first arrest. The state is recommending a signature bond through pretrial services. We're going to ask for a 1-day anger awareness course, no further violent contact with Jaden Young, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Mr. Young, I believe I see you there. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. If you would, you'll have to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in.
I would.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me, sir? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Can you put some light on yourself?
I can.
Okay, very good. What would you like to tell the court?
I like to tell the court that as the victim, I want her to be released ASAP. I want the case to be dropped. She did not hit me in any form or fashion. I'm okay. There goes the baby right there. He's okay. If you guys will let her, you can do non-violent order. I don't want a restraining order of any kind. And if we can get her released today, I'll come get her right now.
All right. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Mr. Young.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good afternoon, Mr. Cook. Is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor, this is my case.
Any objection to anything the state's requesting?
We would be asking for signature bond through the jail and have an objection to the anger awareness course. Beyond that, we have no problem with the no violent contact.
Okay. It will be for the battery, family violence, a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. For the cruelty, a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. No further violent contact with Jaden Young, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Hawkins.
Next is position number 2.
Good afternoon, Mr. Catalando. You have been charged in case 24 CR 0033038 with simple battery, family violence, 3 counts. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
third arrest. I didn't see any violence.
Let's see,
Good afternoon, Judge.
good afternoon, Mr. Rousey. Let's see, Mr. Rhodes, is this your?
This is my client. I filed a entered appearance or just emailed it to the magistrate court. I guess the pretrial services or otherwise, but I can get it to you through another
Okay.
direct mail if you need it.
No, you're fine, Mr. Rousey. The way this court normally works is I'm happy to hear from you regarding your client. I normally hear from the solicitor's office first, and I'll hear what you would like to tell the court, okay?
All right.
All right, Mr. Rhodes, good afternoon. Is this your case?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Yes, it is, Your Honor. I am standing in for Deputy Chief Shelley Falk, and she did leave me some notes on this particular case. Your Honor, on this particular case, without going through a factual basis, I will point out that the victim in this case, from my understanding from Ms. Falk, is 7 years old. And I don't know if the victim's mother is actually on the actual phone. Given that this particular defendant does not have much in terms of criminal history, nothing violent, we would ask that they be given a signature bond through pretrial services. At whatever level Your Honor feel is necessary, we would ask for a total of $6,000, $2,000 on each count. $6,000 signature bond through pretrial services. And I guess it could be level 1, 2, or 3, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Rose, I know you're not, you don't do this court all the time. It's good to see you as always. I normally need a factual basis so I can make a decision regarding the bond amount. I appreciate the solicitor's recommendation, but I'll need to know the facts.
All right, one moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, as it relates to this case, on April 9, 2024, it was reported to the Roswell Police Department by the Cherokee County Division of Family and Children's Services, DFACS, that they had became aware of an allegation of physical violence between Taylor Cataldo and his juvenile son, who is Keith Cataldo, whose date of birth is 11/13/2016. This incident was alleged to have occurred at 1160 Worthington Hill Drive in Roswell, Fulton County, Georgia. The zip code is 30076. While Keith was visiting with his father for spring break during the week of April 1st of 2024, during the course of the investigation, Keith Cataldo was forensically interviewed and disclosed that while he was at his father's residence in Roswell on break from school, he was struck in the face, pushed down to the floor, and kicked in the face by his father. Keith was not able to explain why his father had done these things to him, but did advise that he cried when the incident occurred because it did hurt him. Keith advised the forensic interviewer of a scratch located on his eyelid he claimed came from his father kicking him. The injuries were documented and photographs were taken, and the allegations set forth forms the basis for the 3 counts that are listed in this accusation, Your Honor.
Does the state have a recommendation with regard to contact?
Your Honor, as it relates to contact, at this time, we ask that that any contact between the parties involve a third party, that it be supervised by a third party until further notice, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Rousey?
Judge, it's my understanding that the basis of this incident that was just described has been investigated by Children's Services, and I wanted to share the conclusion, but I don't have a share screen on here, but the Cherokee County Department of Family and Children's Services did do an investigation and found it unsubstantiated. And I've got a letter that I'm happy to show the court if you care to see it.
No, Mr. Rousey, you're an officer of the court, so I'll take you
Okay.
at your word, so.
Well, I was provided the letter by Mr. Cataldo's mother. And so that's my understanding that the parties, Mr. Cataldo and his ex have had a long history of squabbling, modifications, court appearances, and things of that nature. We believe that the allegations have been churned up by Mr. Cataldo's ex, and I don't think that there is any threat of violence in the future moving forward if the court were to hold a no violent contact provision between Mr. Cataldo and his 7-year-old son.
Okay.
Other than that, we're prepared to post a bond. I think with certainly whatever the court wishes, but if we could avoid appearing at pretrial services monthly, if we could post a bond in an amount of $3,000, I think that would be something that my client and his family could do also.
Is there already an arrangement for visitation or transfer of the minor child?
Well, there is, but I think there is a modification action currently pending. I've tried to reach out and speak with the attorney handling that matter. I have not gotten the details of that, but there is a visitation schedule in place. And candid judge, the child's mother did file a TPO in Cherokee County, and I think Cherokee County was holding off until the matter could be resolved or depending the outcome of this. But then when the warrant went through and the arrest has occurred, I think the TPO is in place until August. Or whether it was extended for a year, I don't know. But obviously we've got some parenting visitation issues to take up with the Superior Court of Cherokee County. We'd like to have no encumbrances as it relates to the criminal charges here on this matter, because we do feel that at some point in time we will have them resolved favorably.
Okay.
And I just asked that as it relates to that the state would be open to a modification of bond as it relates to the visitation issue. However, if in Superior Court there are issues related to that, I would still ask for the presence of a third party to supervise any visitations at this particular time.
Okay, I'm going to leave that to the Superior Court. For this case, it'll be $1,000 signature bond through the jail on each charge. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. Abide by any pre-existing visitation orders or arrangements. No further violent contact with the minor child, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Good luck to you, Mr. Cataldo. Anything further before the court, Mr. Rousey?
Nothing further other than I'd like to say hello to Mr. Keith Cook. We went to law school together, and I haven't seen him in probably been about 30-something years.
Well, we bumped into each other a few times. You're looking good, but you started out younger than me, so I guess.
Well, I have my son here who's a first-year law student clerking with me, so hopefully he's gonna carry on the tradition here.
I'm glad he's better looking than you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. You'll have a good afternoon.
Good
Take
to see you,
care.
Tom.
You too, Keith.
Who do we have next?
Position number 16, Hickman.
Good afternoon, Ms. Pittman. You have been charged in case 24 CR 003315F with battery. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Fifth arrest, 2023 simple assault DV open. 2019 battery DV dismissed. 2014 simple assault conviction. 2013 battery dismissed.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place on November 26, 2023. Law enforcement responded to a physical dispute at 532 Cleveland Avenue Southwest in Atlanta. Stephanie Pittman struck Tanasia Anthony in the face, knocking her to the ground. She then struck her several more times in the face, the head, and the back of the head. She also bit Miss Anthony's left pinky finger, leaving a visible bite mark. Your Honor, Miss Pittman's history in every infraction includes some type of battery or assault, some altercation with another person that became physical. As a result, the state is requesting a $2,500 surety bond. We're going to ask for a one-day anger awareness, no further contact with Tanasia Anthony, stay away from the incident location, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And if we may sound for Miss Tanasia Anthony at this time, Your Honor, I think I see her logged in.
Yes, good afternoon, Miss Anthony. If you would like to address the court, I'll need for you to, you don't have to, but if you would like to, I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, we can't hear you, Miss Anthony. We'll need for you to activate your audio. It may be, Miss Anthony, that you're going to need to log out and log back in and select audio when you do log back in. So I'll give you that opportunity. If you want to log out, log in, and select audio, it doesn't appear that you're muted. So while you do that, Mr. Graham, have you had an opportunity to speak with Miss Anthony, your office?
Your Honor, our office hasn't been in touch with Miss Anthony before now. So
Okay, thank you. Miss Anthony, log out and log back in. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Ty.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I was able to speak with the complaining witness, but I'll go ahead and present for my client. She is 27 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She is a high school graduate. She is the mother to 3 minor children, one 8 years old, and then a 6-month-old, and a stepmother to 2 children, 9 and 7. Well, they're in the household with her. They're the children of the complaining witness. She is also a cashier at Zoo Atlanta and babysits for neighborhood kids to make a little extra money. Your Honor, I know that you did hear some history, but the last violent conviction was in 2014. That's 10 years ago. She did have a simple assault, I think, and that was dismissed yesterday, Your Honor. The complaining witness states that she didn't want to press charges, that she does want to continue to have contact with my client. And you know, in light of that history, I mean, there were 5 cycles, but she doesn't have many convictions, I think, and the last one was 10 years ago. So I would ask for a signature bond, and it can be through pretrial services. I would prefer jail because she does have her hands full with 5 children in the household, but if she has to, it can be pretrial services. I would ask for level 1, a no violent contact with the complaining witness, and nothing further.
Thank you. Miss Anthony, let's see. If you'll speak, let's see if we can hear you now.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me
Okay.
better?
Yes, we can hear you now. I've already sworn you in,
Okay.
Miss Anthony. So what would you like to tell the court?
I would like to drop the charges on Stephanie Pittman, and I would like to have no violent contact with her.
Okay. Have
And
how
I
do you
would
know?
like also for her to have a signature bond if possible as well.
Okay. How do you know Miss Pittman?
I know Miss Pittman through our kids. We also had a relationship with each other. So it's not just friendship. It's been a relationship on and off with each other. Miss Pittman does have a background, but she do need a lot of love. And I'm here to give her that love, and I'm willing to be there through the thick and thin, through her for all.
Okay. This allegedly happened back in November of last year. Have you all had contact since that time?
Yes, sir, because Your Honor, when the last time I tried to get a TPO, the court dismissed the system, the case and everything. So I forgave her, and we have worked it out ever since. And
And
her
you,
behavior have changed tremendously.
okay.
Tremendous.
And you're not afraid of her?
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay, thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Anthony.
Thank you.
All right, it'll be a $3,000 signature bond through the jail, no further violent contact with Ms. Anthony, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Pittman. You also, Ms. Anthony.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Position number 17 is next. Ms. Smith.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. Smith. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0033168 with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Fifth adult arrest, 2020 simple battery DV, 2017 FTA.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place on March 16, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a dispute call at 2343 Campbellton Road Southwest in Atlanta. Teresa Godfrey advised that a verbal altercation with Miranda Smith became physical when Miss Smith snatched a bag off of her shoulder. She then threw the bag at her. Miss Godfrey further advised that she had a fracture in her back, and this incident aggravated that injury. The argument was over Miss Godfrey refusing to give a phone number to, I don't know if it was her uncle or Miss Smith's uncle at the time. Our office has not been in touch with Miss Godfrey today, Your Honor. The state is requesting a signature bond through pretrial services, a one-day anger awareness course, no further contact with Teresa Godfrey, stay away from the incident location, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond, and if we may sound for Teresa Godfrey at this time, Your Honor.
If Ms. Godfrey is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Does not appear so. Ms. Atai?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 25 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She is the mother to one child, a 2-year-old. She denies the allegations as stated in the warrant. She is fine with a stay away and no further contact with these, I guess it's like a distant relative. Her last arrest was 4 years ago. She's recommended for a signature bond at level 1. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail along with the stay away and no further contact. I don't object to that. Nothing further.
Okay, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Godfrey. Stay away from the Campbellton Road address. So no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Smith.
Next, number 7, Harris.
Good afternoon, Ms. Harris. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0033081 with striking an unattended vehicle and driving without a valid license. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
First, jail is the recommendation.
Okay. Who's presenting for the state?
That would be Rhodes, Your Honor.
Okay.
As it relates to the factual basis, and bear with me, Your Honor, I am pulling these up. Your Honor, as it relates to Brazil Harris's case, on May 19, 2024, at approximately 21:10 hours, Officer Brunson was dispatched to 3005 Sable Trail located in South Fulton, Georgia, area code 30349, in reference to a hit and run. Upon arrival, they made contact with the Danielle Smith. Ms. Smith advised that her daughter, Brazil Harris, crashed into a white Honda CRV bearing Georgia tag number CRV 3394, belonging to a Miss Poasia Horn, that was parked in front of the above residence and drove away from the scene of the accident in a black sedan. Ms. Smith advised that Ms. Harris is not licensed to drive any motor vehicle. Officer Brunson made contact with Ms. Horn. She advised that Ms. Harris caused minor damage to her vehicle. Ms. Horn advised that she made an attempt to contact Ms. Harris, but Ms. Harris did not answer her cell phone. Officer Brunson asked Ms. Smith for her driver's license. Ms. Smith gave him a driver's license, and after validating her license through NCIC, and the system indicated that Ms. Smith had an FTA warrant from the Norcross Police Department. They immediately confirmed that the warrant through GCIC was for Ms. Smith, and they took her into custody. They arranged to meet with Norcross Police and DeKalb Jail to transfer Ms. Smith into custody. And obviously, Ms. Smith's case is unrelated, but as it relates to Ms. Brazil's case for striking an unattended vehicle and driving without a valid license, we would be asking for a $2,000 bond on striking an unattended vehicle and a $1,000 for driving without a valid license. I think I heard pretrial say that there was no history. So we have no objections to this being a signature bond through pretrial services, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Horn, I see you there. If you would like to address the court, you certainly do not have to, but if you would like to, I'll need for you to unmute yourself and I'll have to swear you in. No? Okay. Mr. Cook, if it's okay with you, for each charge, it'll be a $500 signature bond through the jail, making for a total of $1,000 signature bond through the jail, no driving without a valid license, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Does that suit you?
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you, Ms. Harris.
Conviction number 14 is next.
Good afternoon, Ms. Nelson. You have been charged in case 24 CR 003314G with theft by taking. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
19 on probation in DeKalb for ag battery, ag assault. Couple of probation violations from last year. Trespass from 2023. 2022 trespass NOLO. 2016 trespass disorderly conduct NOLO.
Okay, Mr. Graham.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place on April 25th, 2024. Craig Nelson was observed taking mail from the mailbox at 283 Westlake Drive, Northwest in Atlanta.
I said position number 14 is Newland.
Well, we have position number 14 on our calendar.
Is this Nelson or Newton?
LaShara Newland is position 15. Is that who we have? Is courtroom 2 frozen?
No, it's not frozen. This is position number 15.
Okay, so this is LaShara Newland. Is that right, Miss Newland?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You've been charged in case 24 CR 003301J with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
6 total. Last was 2011 ag assault. This is level 1.
Yes, Mr. Rhodes.
Your Honor, on the evening of Monday, May 27th of this year, Officer Skinner assisted Officer Ward and Officer Wynn on a dispute call located at 1170 77 Constitutional Road, Southeast, at the Constitution Hills Apartments. Upon arrival, they spoke with a Mr. Anthony Stallworth. Mr. Stallworth stated that he wanted to speak with the police on the same day in question. And that was May 27th of 2024, again, because a significant other who he resided with for 3 years collected his belongings, and those consisted of clothing and sneakers, and threw them in the dumpster after a verbal dispute. Stallworth was able to provide camera footage of his significant other, and that person was identified as a Miss LaShara Newland. And the camera footage show her discarding those belongings. I then spoke with the caller who identified herself as Miss Newland, and Miss Newland stated that the clothing items were hers and that she was throwing them away because she wanted to. As the clothing items appeared to have been men's clothing, Miss Newland stated that she was a plus-size woman, so she would typically purchase men's sizes. Miss Newland was then detained and placed in the rear of Officer Wynn's patrol vehicle and charged with criminal trespass and damaged property. And as such, Your Honor, it is one count of criminal trespass. We would be asking for a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial services.
Okay, let's see. Mr. Stallworth was also arrested, I've been told, by pretrial. Is he in courtroom too?
Yes, he's here.
Okay, let's take him next if possible. Ms. McLeod, this is your case.
It is, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You can proceed.
Your Honor, we have no objection to signature bond, but would prefer if it were through the jail. My client denies that she did anything wrong, Your Honor. She said the officers would not listen to her when she was trying to explain to them that she had receipts to show that this was in fact her own stuff. And you can dump your own stuff if you want to, which is essentially what she was doing.
All right, it'll be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. There's an allegation of simple battery family violence in the next case. As such, this will be no further contact at the present time. Good luck to
my
you.
client may need a one-time police escort to go back to the location to get her belongings, because I believe she says that the lease is in his name, but that she does have somewhere else she can go.
Okay, so she's to stay away from the Constitution Road address. She can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. Okay, anything further, Ms. McLeod?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck to you, Ms. Newland.
Position number 19. Oh,
apologize, and yet I would like to her cross defendant wants to have a contact with her. I just wanted to address that before we make decision about no further violent contact or contact.
My client doesn't mind contact with him. I did ask her about that.
Okay, well, let me hear about the facts and then I'll make that determination. Good afternoon, Mr. Stallworth. You've been charged in case 24 CR 003311Y with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
You waiting on me?
Yes, sir.
13 total. He got an open
Okay.
ag. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
He got open ag assault 22 CP 213861. Same victim. I'm not sure what that bond order says. I have to look it up. 2009 battery DV conviction. 08 battery DV. That's all.
Okay, so if it's the same victim, I'm certainly not going to have them have contact. So my previous order stands. Yes, Mr. Graham.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place May 27, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a dispute with a weapon call at the same location, 1177 Constitution Road Southeast in Atlanta. Upon arrival, LaShara Newland advised that an ongoing altercation with Anthony Stallworth became physical when he pushed his finger against her head while holding a knife, threatened to kill her. We attempted to transfer this case to DA's office. It was rejected. Mr. Stallworth does have that open ag assault case. Ms. Newland is the victim in that case. Conditions of the bond were no further contact and a stay away. It was a $10,000 surety that was given. Based on those facts, Your Honor, the state is requesting a $5,000 surety bond. We are going to ask for no further contact with LaShara Newland. If the stay away is going to apply to her, we won't ask for a stay away for him. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 50 years old and he denies the allegation. There was no physical contact whatsoever. He strongly prefers to have no further violent contact. Both parties do not want to prosecute this case at all. That's what my client believes. And he says he can even bring a witness to prove they do not have child together, and that place, 1177 Constitution, is actually his place, and he is the only one who has name on the lease. I believe that she is willing to move out or go somewhere else. Then if that's the case, I would like my client to be able to return home. He does not have any other place to go to.
We've already
And-
addressed that, Ms. Kim. She's gonna stay away from that residence and she's been given a one-time police escort to retrieve her belongings.
Right, that's what I heard, Your
Okay,
Honor.
all
We
right.
have for that. Thank you. And that's about it, Your Honor. He prefers to have a 3,000 surety bond. We do understand that there is an open case, but he does not have enough funds as of now. So we would like to request for like maximum 100 cash bond so he can pay and be able to move forward. Thank you.
And Mr. Graham, it's my understanding that in that other case, there's already a stay away in place and an order. Is that right?
That's
Or no
correct.
further contact?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so they're already in violation, or he's already in violation of another order where he's not to be around her. So for this case, it's going to be a $3,000 good bond, no further contact with Ms. Newland, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Your Honor, would it be possible if he gets a $300 good bond? I don't think he can go through the bond company right now because he does not have a job.
Well, it can either be a $500 cash bond or a $3,000 good bond. You're saying he would prefer a $500 cash bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, it'll be a $500 cash bond.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Stallworth. He has his hand up, Ms. Kim. You have a right to remain silent, Mr. Stallworth. Anything you say can be used against you. Ms. Kim?
Please say anything. I'll be happy to explain anything you have. Please give me a call so we can discuss this.
No, I'm just saying about the bond. I was just asking, is it $500 cash bond or I can go to a bonding company?
He said $500 cash bond.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
Number 18, Smith Francis.
Good afternoon, Ms. Smith Francis. You've been charged in case 24 CR 003307E with simple battery. Is your history, Mr. Howard?
First, jail was the recommendation.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, my internet just went out for a moment. I didn't hear which position you're.
Position 18, Ms. Smith Francis.
Oh, okay, thank you.
For this, my case.
Okay.
Now, as relates to this particular case, on October 26th of 2023, at the Michael R. Hollis Innovation Academy in Fulton County at 225 James P. Brawley Drive, Northwest in Atlanta, Georgia, that zip code is 30314. Substitute teacher, who was Vicki Smith Francis, stated that she intentionally made contact with a student whose initials are JS in the classroom in a provoking nature when she intentionally grabbed the student by the arm. The student, JS, is a special needs nonverbal student and has been diagnosed with autism. The student's private nurse, Ms. Grace Santaguida, was present in the classroom and witnessed the incident. And Grace Santaguida provided a written statement as to the incident. Your Honor, at this time, the charge is simple battery. In this particular case, we're going to ask for a $3,000 good bond and that there be a stay away from the victim in this case. The victim is a minor child. However, if the court would like, the name is Jonathan Spencer. And that's spelled the traditional way, Johnathan Spencer. And depending on what's going on at the school, from the school as well, stay away from the incident location, which again was 226 James P. Brawley Drive Northwest in Atlanta, Georgia 3031, and it was the Michael R. Hollis Innovation Academy.
Okay. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 70 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life, and she worked as a school teacher for Atlanta Public Schools and in Fulton County for 37 years. And after retiring, continued to work as a substitute teacher almost daily for 10 years. This is her very first arrest at age 70. I think this is shameful. The charges should be dropped. She denies the allegations as stated in the warrant. She dedicated her life to teaching students, for 47 years. I would ask for, of course, a signature bond through the jail with no further restrictions.
Okay. Does she still work at the James P. Brawley's address school?
I don't think she works there anymore, Your Honor, but I wouldn't want to stay away so that she can continue to work if she wants to.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have her have no contact with the minor child. And she can, given that she can have no contact with the minor child, she can't be in a classroom where, if she's teaching where he is a student, but I'm not gonna bar her from going back to the school if she has other assignments. So it'll be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with the minor child, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Manson-Smith. You're welcome.
Your Honor, did you mention as it relates to the incident location, did you say that you'll leave that up to?
No, I said that she cannot be, there's no contact with the minor child. As such, she cannot be she can go back to the school, but she can't be a teacher in his classroom.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay.
Position number 22, White.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. White. You've been charged in case 24 CR 003300G with possession of a pistol or revolver by a person under 18 years of age. Is there a history?
No.
Yes, Mr. Rhodes.
You muted.
Thank you, sir. As relates to this case, it's on Monday, May 27, 2024, around 5:05, 844 Clifton Avenue in East Point, Georgia is the incident location. Corporal Henderson Sr. responded to Walmart in reference to an employee in possession of a firearm. They spoke with the general manager, whose name is Ms. Tanithia Dunn, who advised that they had an employee that was only 17 years old and that was in possession of a gun. Dunn escorted the officer to her office, and the officer spoke with one of the assistant managers, who introduced him to the 17-year-old child. The 17-year-old was identified as Miss Devani Shakari White, whose date of birth is 9/24/2006. White arrived at the office, and as she was walking in, they observed an unusual bulge in the front of her pants that was consistent with the shape of a handgun. Officer informed Ms. White of the reason why she was brought into the office, and then informed her that that Officer English would be conducting a pat-down for safety purposes. During the pat-down, it was observed a clamp that is normally used to attach a firearm to the waistband. English then discovered that the clamp was connected to a Taurus 40 caliber pistol. The serial number was obtained. The color of the gun was green and black. Your Honor, as such, the gun was seized and Ms. White was arrested. Not having any juvenile history, Your Honor, and given the child's age, we're asking for a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services, that she be released to her parental guardian. We're asking for a parental guardian signature related to that release, and that she be supervised by pretrial services, that she have no future, in the future, have no weapons, alcohols, or drugs, obviously. And I don't know of her status at the store. So I'm going to ask that she stay away from the Walmart unless, and that particular Walmart at the address that I gave earlier, which was 844 Cleveland Avenue, East Point, Fulton County, Georgia 30344, unless she's rehired at any point to come back to work. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Broadnax, are you here for this case? Okay, can you unmute yourself for me, ma'am?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
How are you related to Ms. White?
Yes, I am her aunt.
Okay, and if you could, if you'll raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to tell me about your niece?
She is an amazing teenager. You know, teenagers make mistakes, and unfortunately, I believe she have learned her lesson. And unfortunately, the Walmart situation is currently being investigated on our end as well as theirs, because some things took place that was not disclosed in regards to the store manager and some reporting to the situation at hand. So I do not mind signing a signature bond. I will come down as soon as you guys will allow me to. I have been down there the past 2.5 days. So whatever you guys need for me to do, I would do it. And whatever Devani needs to do to rectify the situation, we would do that.
Are you her guardian?
Yes, I am.
Okay, is she in school?
Yes, sir, she is. She goes to Mount Zion High School. In August, she'll be a graduating senior.
Okay. And is your name spelled correctly on the Zoom call here?
I don't see my name on here. I'm sorry.
Delisia, Broadnax, Broadnax.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Broadnax.
Where do I go in? Do I come back to Rice Street?
Hold on a second. I haven't made my decision yet, so I'll let you know.
Okay.
Ms. Kim, do you have any objection to any of the recommendations of the state?
Oh, we would like to request for signature on bond through jail, and she has no other criminal history. She is a very good student at school, and she's a great babysitter for her 2 minor siblings, actually 1 sibling and 1 grandmother's child, so uncle who is younger than her, and we would like to request for that. That's all. And she's already fired, so she does not have to go to that Walmart.
Okay, so it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. She'll be released to her guardian, Ms. Broadnax. She's to relinquish any weapons that she may have, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. And Ms. Kim, if you would speak with Ms. Broadnax about how to obtain Ms. White. So Ms. Broadnax, if you will contact Ms. Kim or vice versa, she will instruct her on how you can pick up Ms. White, okay?
Thank you. You have a good
All right, you also. Good luck to you, Miss White. No further no, stay away from the Walmart on Cleveland Avenue.
Position number 23.
Good afternoon, Ms. Britton. You've been charged in case 24 CR 003317C with battery. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
What number is this?
23.
Witten, 4 total. Got an open ag assault battery, cruelty to children out of Gwinnett. Open theft by taking in Superior Court, 23 CP 222228. 2023 phase to appear.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place May 28th, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a person injured call at 3239 Cushman Circle Southwest in Atlanta. Shalithia Broom advised that while she was sleeping, when China Witten struck her to confront her about text messages she had seen between Miss Broom and the father of her children. She then started to hit her in the face and the body while sitting on top of her. Miss Broom complained of chest pain. She had multiple dark fingernail scratches to her face, the right side of her chest and shoulder. She also had trouble breathing when officers were on the scene. Our office has spoken to Miss Broom. She tells us that she and Miss Witten were in a relationship. They did not live together. She stated that the incident location is her residence, that Miss Witten does not live there. She confirmed the events in the warrant, stated that they've had arguments in the past, but this is the first time it's been physical. Miss Witten may have anger issues, may benefit from anger management, that she wants no contact with her, for her to stay away from the residence. She's okay with a one-time law enforcement escort to gather her belongings. Your Honor, the state's requesting a $1,500 surety bond, a one-day anger awareness course, no further contact with Shalithia Broom, stay away from 3239 Cushman Circle Southwest, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and if we may sound for Shalithia Broom at this time, Your Honor.
Ms. Broom is on the line, which I believe that you are. If you wish to address the court, you certainly don't have to, but if you wish to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. If you wish to address the court, I need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in. It doesn't appear that she wishes to. Is this your case, Ms. McLeod?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, you can proceed.
Your Honor, my client is 24. It's 24 years old, I'm sorry. She tells me that she and the alleged victim have been in a relationship, but as the state said, they do not live together. My client may have arrest, Your Honor, but I don't believe I heard any convictions. So I would ask the court to consider giving her a signature bond, since the victim obviously has stated that she does not want to have any further contact. No further contact will be fine, because my client does not live there. She lives separately, but she may have a few things there. So I believe a one-time police escort would be in order for her, just to get any things she may have lying around at the house, Your Honor. Nothing further.
All right, it'll be $1,000 good bond, no further contact with Ms. Brown, stay away from the Cushman Circle address. She can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that she might have there. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Good luck to you, Ms. Whitten.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're gonna do position number 25, the interpret the case.
Okay. And let's see.
I'm here, Judge.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Lopez. We appreciate you being here this afternoon. Who's representing Mr. Zuniga?
I do, Your Honor. This is Spanish case, Your Honor. So, but
Yes.
I interviewed my client already.
Okay.
So you can move forward.
All right, Mr. Lopez, if you'll raise your right hand for me, sir. Do you swear or affirm that you will interpret from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Zuniga. You have been charged with battery and theft by shoplifting.
Buenas tardes, señor Zúñiga. Usted está acusado de agresión física y robo en una tienda.
Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Al fiscal hay historial,
6 total.
6 en total.
Got an open case in Superior Court, possession of a Schedule 1.
También hay un caso abierto en el Tribunal Superior por posesión de una sustancia Agenda 1.
Case number 24 PI 001539.
Está dando el número del caso.
Open case out of Chambly, ag assault with intent to murder.
También tiene un caso abierto de Chambly, agresión agravada con con tentativa de homicidio.
2024 burglary dismissed.
En 2024, robo en domicilio, retirado.
2023 trespass conviction.
2023, allanamiento ilegal, condena.
2023 trespass obstruction.
2023, allanamiento ilegal y obstrucción.
That's all.
Eso es todo hasta ahora.
Ms. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place on May 28, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a shoplifting call at Target located 2539
Este
Piedmont.
incidente ocurrió el 28 de mayo de 2024, donde los oficiales respondieron a una llamada de un robo en un local comercial en Target.
That location is 2539 Piedmont Road Northeast in Atlanta.
This is the interpret. I think my internet went out briefly. I got Target. That's where it cut off.
No problem. Location is 2539 Piedmont Road Northeast in Atlanta.
La dirección es 2539 Piedmont East en Atlanta.
Elder Zuniga was observed with various items of merchandise in his possession, passing all points of sale.
El señor Zuniga se había visto con varios objetos en su posesión y pasó por todos los lugares de pago.
The total of those items came to $228.67.
El total de esos objetos era $228.67.
When he was approached by Kenneth Williams, security at the location, he kicked him in the face, resulting in lacerations.
Cuando el oficial de seguridad, el señor Kenneth Williams, se acercó a él, le pegó una patada en la cara, causando laceraciones.
Your Honor, we have spoken with Kenneth Williams. He is a security guard at that Target location.
Su señoría, hemos hablado con el señor Kenneth Williams, que es el oficial de seguridad en ese Target.
He observed Mr. Zuniga come in the store, leave, and return about 30 minutes later.
Él observó que el señor Zuniga entró a la tienda, se fue y luego regresó a los 30 minutos.
The items that he had were a book bag and a camera.
Los objetos que él tenía con él era un bolso y una cámara.
When he attempted to apprehend him, that's when he resisted arrest and began the physical altercation.
Y cuando intentó aprenderlo fue cuando el señor Zuniga se empezó a resistir y causó el altercado.
Mr. Zuniga has been criminally trespassed from the property.
Al señor Zuniga ya le prohibieron volver a esa propiedad.
And Your Honor, we've heard the history. As a result, the state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond. That's $1,500 on each count.
Y como resultado de sus antecedentes judiciales, estamos pidiendo una fianza de $3,000 asegurados, 1,500 en cada cargo.
No further contact with Kenneth Williams. Stay away from the target. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
No tener contacto con el señor Kenneth Williams, no volver al target en cuestión y no puede consumir nada de alcohol ni drogas.
And Your Honor, Mr. Williams indicated he will not be able to attend this afternoon, but if we may sound for him at this time in accordance with Marcy's law.
Mr. Williams is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't
This
appear
is
so.
once again, I'm so sorry. I heard Mr. Kenneth Williams and that's it.
Okay, if Mr. Kenneth Williams is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is his opportunity to do so.
Si el señor Kenneth Williams quiere decirle algo a este juzgado y está en la línea, es la oportunidad de hacerlo.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Zuniga, is 22 years old.
Mi cliente tiene 22 años.
He came from El Salvador, Mexico, about 8 months ago.
Él vino de México hace más o menos 8 meses.
Or it could be 1.5 years ago. He was not really sure exactly.
O podría ser hasta año y medio, no sé, que él no se acordaba.
He could not remember any of his phone numbers or contact number. He is currently residentially challenged.
Él no podía recordar ninguno de los números o su dirección. Actualmente tiene dificultades en encontrar residencia.
And he's currently staying at a Divine Trinity Church at Doraville, Georgia.
Actualmente se está quedando en Divine Trinity Church, es una iglesia en Doraville.
And his highest level of education was a 6th grade.
Y llegó a 6º grado de educación.
He is currently unemployed.
Actualmente no tiene empleo.
So we would like to request for a signature on bond since he has no financial means or anybody else who can help him out to pay for the bond.
Así que vamos a pedir una fianza de firma porque él no tiene los medios económicos y tampoco tiene ninguna persona que le pueda ayudar a pagar la fianza.
Nothing
Okay.
for the defense.
Nada más del abogado de defensa.
For the battery, it'll be a $1,500 surety bond. For the theft, a $500 surety bond, making for a total of a $2,000 surety bond.
Muy bien, por la agresión física va a ser una fianza de $1,500 mediante asegurado. Por el hurto en local comercial, $500, siendo un total de $2,000 de fianza asegurado.
Contact with Kenneth Williams and stay away from the target on Piedmont Road.
Cero contacto con el señor Kenneth Williams y tienen que mantenerse alejado del target en cuestión, en Piedmont Road.
Drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
No puede tener ni consumir alcohol ni drogas, tampoco puede estar en posesión de un arma de fuego mientras esté bajo fianza.
Good luck to you, Mr. Zuniga.
Buena suerte, señor.
All right, do we require the Spanish interpreter for any other cases this afternoon? All right, if not, thank you, Mr. Lopez. We appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Number 3, Courtney.
Good afternoon. So Courtney, you've been charged in case 24 CR 003320J with reckless conduct and simple assault. So your history, Mr. Howard?
Second arrest. He out on pretrial for battery. He went to felony for burglary, possession of a firearm during the commission. I'm not sure what that bond was.
Okay. Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place on May 28, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a suspicious person with a weapon call at 940 Pine Grove Point Drive in Roswell. Upon arrival, Jennifer Carter advised that Alexander Courtney was standing in her garage holding a long stick with a hook attached to it. He did not respond to her when she asked what he was doing. He only lifted the hood off of his face and stared at her. She ran to the front of the house at that time where there were some people doing work on her property. At that point, Mr. Courtney began to walk away. Before he left the property, he lifted his hood again and acted as if he was going to throw the object at her. Officers went to Mr. Courtney's residence. They spoke with his father, Orlando Courtney, who stated that he took the object from his son before telling his son to go inside to his room. Mr. Courtney was in his room when the officers arrived. He admitted to going into Mrs. Carter's garage, but stated nothing happened when he was there. At that point, he attempted to rush the officers, but was intercepted by his father. He was detained and taken into custody. Your Honor, based on the history, and I'm not sure also what happened with the bond earlier today, but state's requesting a $1,000 surety bond. That's $500 on each count. No further contact with Jennifer Carter. Stay away from 940 Pine Grove Point Drive, Roswell. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Is it Carter, the last name, Mr. Graham?
Yes, Your Honor, Carter.
Carter, okay. If Jennifer Carter is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Mr. Cook?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 17 years old. We would have no objection to the conditions that are requested by the state. However, we would be seeking, given his age, not working, obviously. Well, actually, he does work from time to time as a barber for his uncle, but we would be asking for a signature bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate.
All right. For each charge, it'll be a $500 good bond, making for a total of $1,000 good bond. No further contact with Miss Carter. Stay away from the Pine Point Drive address, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Courtney.
Number 9, state.
And tell me again, this is position number 9?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Mr. Howard, let's see, you've been charged in case 24 CR 003321D with battery family violence. Your history, Mr. Howard?
3rd, 2024 DUI open. 2016 possession of marijuana dismissed.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place May 28, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a dispute call at 210 Auburn Avenue Northeast in Atlanta. Upon arrival, Ebony Ray advised that a verbal altercation with Antavius Howard became physical when he became irritated and began pushing her around and choking her. A strangulation assessment was done by our office, Your Honor. The victim rated an 8 out of 10. The DA's office rejected the case. However, Miss Ray sustained bruising to her right arm as a result. Our office has spoken with Miss Ray today. She says that the two are not in a relationship. They do not live together, but they do share 4 children. The incident location is her residence, that he comes there from time to time to be with the children. She confirmed the events in the warrant. She stated that he grabbed her by the neck multiple times throughout the altercation. That at one point he grabbed her by the neck, picked her off of the ground, began to apply pressure. That she had difficulty breathing. She experienced shortness of breath and dizziness. She also stated that he put his arm around her neck in a chokehold. This was not the first time he's been violent towards her, and not the first time that he has attempted to strangle her. There was one incident in the past where she did pass out during an altercation. She called the police during that incident, but they never showed up. She's in fear for her safety. She does not want contact with him. She wants him to stay away from the residence, and she is planning to file a TPO. She also indicated that she will not be on Zoom today. Your Honor, based on the facts and the nature of this incident and the history, the state is recommending a $5,000 surety bond. We're also going to ask for a 1-day anger awareness course, no further contact with Ebony Ray, stay away from 210 Auburn Avenue Northeast, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. And if we may sound for Ms. Ebony Ray at this time.
Ms. Ray is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Mr. Cook? Mr. Cook? Can you hear me, Mr. Graham?
Yes, I can hear you, Your Honor, but I see
Okay.
them two also went dark, as well as Mr. Cook.
Mr. Cook, are you there? It looks like Mr. Cook is frozen. Is courtroom 2 there? Is anyone on the line besides Ms. Kim and Mr. Graham and myself?
I'm also here.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Atai. I'm not sure what's going on. Ms. Bridgewater, are you with me? Ms. Bridgewater, can you hear me?
I don't think she can hear you, Your Honor.
I guess it's just the four of us, so I'm not sure how that happened. Um, well, I guess we should give it a minute, maybe. Let me call Miss Bridgewater.
My screen says I'm the host now.
Oh, okay. I'm on with Ms. Atai, Mr. Graham, and Miss Kim, but you all are knocked off? Okay, all right, so we'll just wait and see what happens. Okay, thank you.
I just spoke with Petey Cook and he says his computer was frozen. He's trying to get back in.
Okay, and apparently so is everyone else, I guess.
Well, I don't know how this happened, but I have a screen that says I need to admit Mr. Lama Rhodes, and I pressed the button and it happened. I don't know why I became the host.
Okay. Well, if you can continue to be the host, Miss Kim.
Okay, I'll try.
Apparently, I lost internet. I'm on my,
Don't you admit. So I'm admitting them.
Yes, Miss Lewis.
Yeah, the whole internet.
Apparently, all right, so we apparently the every Fulton County internet went down, so we're gonna have to wait for everyone to get back on courtroom two, okay? So
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's see, Ms. Bridgewater.
I'm with you.
Okay, let's see. Is everyone else with me that we need? Courtroom 2 is back on. Mr. Cook is back with me. Mr. Graham is here. Ms. Kim is here. Okay, so it looks as though we can proceed with Mr. Antavius Howard. Mr. Cook, I believe that we were up to your presentation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 27 years old. They do indeed share, I believe, 4 children. They do not live together. So we would have no objection to no further contact or there would be no reason for any stay away.
Hey, it looks like we've lost him again. Looks like we've lost courtroom 2 also. Mr. Graham, you're still with me? Mr. Rhodes is still with me, I think. Mr. Ty and Ms. Kim. Okay. So this must have something to do with the Fulton counties. If that were the case, you think courtroom 2 would. Well, there they went. Okay.
Yeah, I actually connected to my cell phone.
Yes, Ms. Bridgewater, you all went out again.
Yeah, trying to reconnect. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Do you know if other systems in the courthouse have been affected, or is it?
You know what? I'm gonna inquire while we're trying to connect. So I'll let you know. It's gonna take me a minute, I guess, to try to reconnect. I'll find out, okay?
Mr. Jordan there today?
He is floating around, but I'm gonna find him to see what's going on. You're welcome. Okay, we're back to you.
Judge, can you? Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Okay. Well, quickly, we would have no objection to any stay away or no further contact with the alleged victim. We would be seeking a third-party transfer for visitation with the children and a signature bond through whatever level the court deems appropriate.
Okay. Courtroom 2, are you with me? They're gone again. All right, I guess we'll be in recess until they can figure out what's going on. Okay, so courtroom 2, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I've heard, is everybody back on with, Mr. Howard's case? As such, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Miss Ebony Ray. Stay away from the Auburn Avenue address. He can go back to that address on one occasion. There'll be, no, he can't go back there. I don't believe he has any belongings there. There'll be third-party transfer of any minor children, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Howard.
Number 12 is next.
And tell me, this is position number 12, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, number 12.
Okay. Mr. Lewis, you've been charged in case 24 CR 003299F with possession and use of drug-related objects and giving false information to law enforcement. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
6 total. 2016 bail jumping conviction. 2016 giving false name. Possession of a forged instrument conviction. 2015. ID theft. 2016. Jail was a recommendation.
Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. On May 28, 2024, Officer Washington responded to a reported criminal trespass related to an incident location of 230 10th Street Northeast, the 12th floor of the Hilton Hotel. They first made contact with a security officer by the name of Mr. Rodney Williams, who informed them that an individual later identified as a Mr. Christopher Lewis refused to leave the property after being told to leave. Mr. Williams then escorted me to the 12th floor inside the conference room where Mr. Lewis was observed laying down on the floor toward the back area. Officers attempted to make contact with Mr. Lewis after observing him laying down, the sheet covered over him. They immediately recognized drug paraphernalia in the form of a crack pipe, which appeared to have burned residue inside. They also noticed several lighters nearby. Officer introduced himself to Mr. Lewis and issued him a criminal trespass warning on behalf of Mr. Williams. They instructed Mr. Lewis that he was to leave the property immediately and to never re-enter the property or risk being arrested. When they asked Mr. Lewis's identity, he advised that his name was Christopher Lewis and that his date of birth was 9/21/1993. As they inquired about the drug paraphernalia, they observed that Mr. Lewis grabbed it and hid it inside the sheet that he was using. They then retrieved it and questioned him on why he possessed it and then detained him. Once they arrived in the patrol vehicle, they then questioned Mr. Lewis again, and he did not answer. They placed him under arrest for possession of drug-related objects, and they searched Mr. Lewis incident to arrest and discovered property that would later be turned into the Atlanta Public Safety Annex as property, with the exception of the actual drug paraphernalia, which would be turned in as evidence. They asked Mr. Lewis again for his date of birth. He answered 9/21/93 again. Soon after, they were able to identify that his date of birth was actually April 21st of 1993. As a result, he was charged with giving false name, address, or date of birth. So that forms the basis for the charges against Mr. Lewis: possession of drug-related objects and giving false information to law enforcement officers. In the 6 total, Your Honor, I didn't hear anything violent, so I would just ask for 500 each signature bond through the jail.
Any objection? Go ahead, Mr. Rhodes. Stay away.
Yeah, to stay away from the Hilton Hotel at 230 10th Street Northeast in Atlanta, Georgia.
Any objection to any of that, Mr. Ty?
No objection to a signature bond through the jail, Your Honor, and the stay away is fine.
Okay.
And
so
I would like to state for the record that my client denies the allegations as stated in the warrant for obvious reasons.
Okay. It'll be a $500 signature bond through the jail on each count, makes for a total of $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the Hilton Hotel, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Lewis.
Position 14, Nelson.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Nelson. You've been charged in case 24 CR 003314G with theft by taking. We've already heard the history prior, but could you give it to me again, Mr. Howard, please?
On probation for ag assault, ag battery out of DeKalb. Couple of probation violations from last year. 2023 trespass, 2022 trespass NOLO, 2016 trespass disorderly conduct NOLO. That's it.
Graham.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place April 25th, 2024. Craig Nelson was observed taking mail from the mailbox at 283 Westlake Drive Northwest in Atlanta. That property is owned by Javier, Javair McDaniel. Mr. Nelson walked up to the mailbox, took the mail out, and walked away with it. Our office has spoke with Mr. McDaniel. He says that Mr. Nelson is, I'm sorry, it's Miss Daniel. Mr. Nelson is her grandson's father. That he had been lurking around her home, looking through the windows, that he eventually went to her mailbox and stole the mail. She wants no contact with him, wants him to stay away from her residence. Based on the history, Your Honor, the probation violations, and I also found a criminal trespass conviction or two in 2023. State's recommending a $1,000 surety bond, no further contact with Javier McDaniel, stay away from the residence at 283 Westlake Drive Northwest, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. And if we may sound for Miss Javier McDaniel, Your Honor.
Ms. McDaniel's on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Okay, is this your case, Ms. Atai?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client is 35 years old. This incident didn't happen April 25th, 2024. It happened April 25th, 2023, allegedly. So it was over a year ago, Your Honor. I haven't spoken with Miss Nelson, but I guess that's his mother or stepmother or grandmother to his 8-year-old child. He does have an 8-year-old child. Your Honor, I understand that there's some history, but I think that other than criminal trespass, anything violent would have been something in DeKalb. And I think that he tells me that's over 10 years ago. He is on disability, Your Honor. He's not able to work right now. He is residentially challenged. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. Again, it happened over a year ago. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. He is recommended for a signature bond, Your Honor, and I would ask that that signature bond be through the jail since he is residentially challenged, although he does have an address at Gateway on 420 Cortland where he receives mail.
Okay.
Just to perfect the record, my apologies.
No, go ahead, Mr. Brown.
Yes, just perfect the record. I'm sorry, the date is April 25th, 2023. I wrote it down wrong. Also, the ag assault and the ag battery and the cruelty conviction was from 2021, so it was just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this Ms. McDaniel?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Ms. McDaniel, if you would like to address the court, I'm happy to have you here, but you have to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down, ma'am. What would you like to tell me?
Okay, this is I didn't know, first of all, that we were gonna have to come to court today, so here's my appearance. I was at work. The incident that we're speaking about is he did go into my mailbox, but we haven't had contact with him in over 7 years. I haven't, so I didn't know who he was. He was lurking around my house for months before my cousin
My grandmother's house was across the street from mine. They called him at 11 o'clock at night, standing on my front porch, looking through my windows, and called me on the phone. It could have been a really bad incident because it could have gotten blown out of proportion. And they made him leave. He went down the street. I called the police. I did come to the courts the next day, and I applied for PTO. I did not get it done. I did not hear from the courts, so I came back maybe a couple of days later and redid the same paperwork again because he has he has a drug abuse problem. I was not aware of it. I had no idea that he was, you know, on drugs or anything. I've had my grandson since birth, and I take care of him, and I try to keep everything down. And I did not know that it was him that was looking through my grandson's window. He was standing in the hallway one night just crying and would not go to bed. So we got him eventually to go to bed. So the same kind of incident happened down to my sister's house maybe a couple of weeks later. So we just assumed that maybe he had been watching or playing a game that he had no business playing, when all along Craig had been creeping around my house. I've never had contact with him to ask him for anything. Basically, he was trying to reach my daughter, and she's no longer at my residence. So she did tell me, and I do know that he has violent tendencies. I do not.
I'm sorry, Ms. McDaniel, let me just say, this happened allegedly back in April of 2023. Have you had any problems since that time?
No.
Okay, so you haven't had any problems with him since that time?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Well, we appreciate that, man. Everything you're telling us, ma'am. This is just a bond hearing today.
Okay.
And you'll get notification as the case moves forward. But we appreciate you being here today. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Do I need to push anything?
You're free to go if you choose to.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Anything further? Mr. Ty, I would like to see if we can have a social worker visit to assist with housing. But it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the Westlake Drive address. No further contact with Ms. McDaniel, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. But let's see if we can assist him with housing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Nelson.
Number one, Anderson.
Number one. Okay. Welcome, Ms. Falk. Good
Thank you.
afternoon. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I'm sure Mr. Rose is glad to see you too.
Thanks for the rescue, Deputy Chief Paul.
Not a problem. Thank you, Deputy Chief Rhodes, for all your help.
Judge Morrow, you have a great day.
Oh, you also, Mr. Rhodes. Good to see you as always. Mr. Anderson, good afternoon. You've been charged in case 24 CR 003302G with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
No, jail was a recommendation.
Okay. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. If I could just have a second, I just need to log back into my Odyssey. I just got back into a place where I can get into my system.
Okay, just let me know when you're ready.
All right, Your Honor. So the facts on this case are that on May 27th, 2024 at 9:15 p.m., there was an officer working in
Ms. Falk, I'm sorry, Ms. Falk. I don't see
Yes.
courtroom 2.
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor.
No, you're fine. Courtroom 2, are you with me? We've been having internet problems, Ms. Falk. So.
Hear you loud and clear.
Okay, all right. And Ms. Bridgewater, Ms. Bridgewater, are you with me? Ms. Falk, are you with me?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, these are the problems that we've been having this afternoon.
Understood, Your Honor.
Apparently the Fulton County internet's been going down sporadically. So we'll be in recess until they come back on.
Yes, Your Honor.
We've lost it. Say it again, Ms. Lewis. I think it's just the two of us, Ms. Falk, so.
Okay. And it is the two people who are remote, clearly. All right. I'll be on. Oh, it looks like people are coming up. Okay.
Let's see. Yes, Ms. Bridgewater.
Yes, it's a pretty bad outage there, Sam. I don't know what to tell you, Judge.
We'll just muddle through when everybody comes back on.
Okay.
We've gotten through most of the calendar, so we still have a number to go, but. Okay, so we'll just wait for everybody to come back on.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll be in recess.
Judge Morrow, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Try this
So,
again. Let me see if I can get Miss Holly on.
okay, and we have a number of other people that need to get on too.
Judge, I don't see pretrial logged on. I don't want to hold, since we got a good connection now, I don't want to hold up the process. So Ms. Hollis is coming in my office at this time to finish up. So, I guess y'all can go
Okay.
forward. Somebody could read the history if Ms. Walker.
Okay, if they, so let's see, and this is Mr. Anderson, courtroom 2.
Yes, position
Yes.
number 1.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Anderson. You have been charged in case 24 CR 003302G with criminal trespass. Do you have the history, Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor, there is no history on this case.
Okay. And Mr. Cook, this is your case? Mr. Cook? Are you with me, Ms. Falk? Yes.
Yes,
Looks
Your
like
Honor.
Ms. Atai?
Yes, Your Honor, it is Keith Cook's case. I can go ahead and let you know that he would recommend or ask for a signature bond through the jail, as it is his first arrest and it's a criminal.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure we didn't lose the clerk's office, but the state is agreeing to a signature bond on this, Your Honor. This incident happened at the Domain nightclub at 1150 Crescent Avenue. Defendant was intoxicated, was walked out by the security guards, tried to re-enter the club multiple times after being told he needed to leave, and so then he was placed under arrest after refusing to leave. The state's recommendation is a signature bond through the jail. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Stay away from Domain nightclub at 1150 Crescent Avenue, Northeast Atlanta.
Okay. You're gone again, it looks like.
Darn, I was hoping to get through this without losing everybody.
Right.
Oh, Miss Atai is here.
Yeah, I'm
Right,
still,
yeah.
it's a little choppy, but
But it looks like we lost courtroom 2.
Right. I think anybody not on the Fulton County system is still with us.
Okay.
Okay, well, we will again be in
Judge, we
recess.
on here. We're still on.
Okay.
I'm trying to
Okay.
see where the
Well, the jail isn't
courtroom
on.
2 is at. I got on a hot spot here, so that's the reason why.
Okay.
I don't know where courtroom 2 is at.
Okay, well, we'll be in recess until they come back on.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, I see the jail court iPhone. I don't know if that's courtroom 2 connecting jail court iPhone.
Yeah, Joe. There.
This courtroom
Give me
2?
1 second.
All right.
Yeah, this courtroom 2.
Oh, okay, that's what I figured.
Can
Yeah, I
you?
had to get a hotspot. I figured that.
We can
See
see
me?
you, but no, we can't see you. We can hear you.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
Now, Judge.
you're choppy. You're going in and out, and we cannot see you.
And Judge, I got pretrial
Yeah.
also in my office too. So Mr. Howard's up here. So I got everybody in my office.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lewis. Looks like the iPhone's gone now. Oh, well, the jail court's iPhone.
Your Honor, out of curiosity, how many cases have we gotten through so far?
We only have 9 left.
Okay,
You want me to
understood.
tell you? You want me to tell you which ones those are?
Yeah, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
that
No,
would be wonderful.
I'm not really doing anything. So.
Fair.
Okay, we still have Mr. Anderson, number 1,
Mhm.
number 4, number 5, number 6, number 10, number 11, number 13, number 20, number 21.
Okay, thank
And
you,
number
Your Honor.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
and
number 24 also.
24. Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, we'll be in recess, and I guess until they can figure out what's going on.
Judge.
Yes. Okay, Norris, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay. You're a little choppy, but I can see you now. So, and is this Mr. Anderson?
Yes, position one, yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Anderson, we had completed your case, your bond, you're gonna have $1,000 signature bond through the jail. You have to stay away from that Domain nightclub that's on Crescent Avenue, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while you're out on bond, okay?
You said
All right,
Judge, how much was the bond amount again?
it's $1,000 signature bond through the jail.
All right, thank you.
so. There.
Okay?
Come on, move. Next is 5, Crutchfield. Sir.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Crutchfield, you've been charged in case 24 CR 003322E with simple battery family violence. Who's representing Mr. Crutchfield?
That would be Keith Cook, Your Honor.
Okay.
But he's not on.
Mr. Cook's not back on with us.
We can do my cases 20, 21, 24, so that
We don't-
way.
Kim, we don't have those people back here yet. We're bringing them around shortly.
I also have position 10 and 11, Corey Hewley.
We don't have people yet. They coming around now.
Okay, so Mr. Crutchfield is the only one you have right there?
Yes.
Okay. Can somebody call Mr. Cook and see if he can get on with us by phone, maybe? Is that possible?
Yes, I think James or
I'm trying to call him right now, sir.
Yeah, he can connect by phone.
Miss Lewis, are you still with me?
Yes, sir, I am.
Do they have any idea what's going on?
Would you be able to deal over the phone?
I've been trying to call the courtroom. Sure.
There we go. Yes,
Well,
Your Honor.
Can we do it this way, Mr. Cook? Can we do it this way? Can you hear me?
Yes, I've been trying to call the courtroom. So yes, we do it this way. This is fine.
Okay, so we're on position number 5, Mr. Crutchfield, okay?
Okay, I'll need to catch up on Mr. Anderson. I know it was an SOP number 1. It just need the amount on that.
It's $1,000. That was $1,000 signature bond through the jail.
Okay, to stay away, I guess, or something. Yeah.
Right. Stay away from the nightclub and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Okay, well now we're on number 5. Okay.
Okay, are you ready for Mr. Crutchfield, Mr. Cook?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Mr. Howard, is there a history?
7 total. I got an open case out of Clayton County, reckless conduct, possession of marijuana, interference with government property, obstruction and disorderly conduct. That's it.
Okay, Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place May 28th, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a dispute call at 2301 Sullivan Road. It's the Hilton Garden Inn. Upon arrival, Chrysanda Terrell advised that she woke up to Antoine Crutchfield with his hands around her neck, suffocating her. She was in town from Tennessee with her kids so that they could spend time with their father. We've been unable to reach Ms. Terrell, Your Honor, so a strangulation assessment has not been completed. The state is very concerned about the nature of the incident and the history. The state's recommendation is a $5,000 surety bond. We're going to ask for a 1-day anger awareness course, no further contact with Chrysanda Terrell, a stay away from her residence, which I believe is in Tennessee, no alcohol, drugs, weapons while out on bond. And if we may sound for Ms. Cassandra Terrell this time, Your Honor, in accordance with Marcy's law.
Ms. Terrell is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Mr. Cook?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 31 years old. He has lived in Atlanta his entire life. He is a contractor with a home repair company and has been doing that for 4 or 5 years. They have children together. I believe she lived generally in Tennessee and was just down here for a brief visit. We have no problem with no further contact, any kind of stay away provision, although I believe the incident location was a hotel. We would be seeking a signature bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate, and we would object to the anger management.
Okay, it will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, 1 day anger awareness, no further contact with Ms. Cruel, stay away from her residence, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Crutchfield.
How much was the bond amount? I couldn't hear you.
$5,000 signature bond through pretrial.
Okay, number
Okay.
6, Davis.
Judge Morrow, so I was trying
Yes,
to log
Mr. Jordan.
cell phone, Holly. What position was that?
That was position number 5.
Okay, and then can you give us the conditions again?
I can. Do you need me to give you the whole
I
thing?
got them written down, Michael. I got them together.
Oh, that's okay. Ms. Lewis got it. So we'll get them from her.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
And this is Mr. Davis.
Yes, it is.
Okay, Mr. Davis, you've been charged in case 24 CR 003313B with simple battery family violence. There a history?
You got 5 total. I don't see no violence. It's level 1.
Okay, Mr. Graham.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place May 28, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a dispute call at 2215 Lake Royale Drive in Riverdale. Upon arrival, Cassie Davis advised that a verbal altercation with her husband, Montre Davis, became physical when he pushed her with an open palm on the back of her head, and then causing a fight to ensue. Video surveillance from inside the home shows Mr. Davis push her with an open palm to the back of the head, and then the two of them fighting. Our office has spoken with Ms. Davis today. She informs us that the two are married. They do live together at the incident location. They have no children. She confirmed the events in a warrant. She stated this is not the first time he's been violent towards her, but the first time she's called the police. She's okay with no violent contact, but she is unsure if that will be the case once he returns. She's okay with him returning to the residence. And Your Honor, based on the victim statements, I understand there's no violence in the history. The state is requesting a signature bond through pretrial services, a 1-day anger awareness. And this time we are going to ask for no further contact with Cassie Davis, seeing as there's been an ongoing violent situation, and this just happened yesterday. Stay away from the incident location, 2215 Lake Royale Drive in Riverdale. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. And if we may sound from Cassie Davis at this time.
Ms. Davis is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Okay, Mr. Cook, this your case?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 51 years old. He is a truck driver for Amazon. I believe Miss Davis is as well. They're home together. They do have children together. Well, actually, I think his kids are grown, but there still are some kids in the residence. We would be asking for no further violent contact, signature bond, pre-trial, Your Honor.
Okay, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Cassie Davis, Stay away from the Lake Royale Drive address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Did you get that, Joe? Court's iPhone?
Yes, we got it.
Okay,
Number
good
10,
luck.
Mr. Hughley.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Hughley. Let's see. You have been charged in case 24 CR 003309C with battery family violence, simple battery family violence, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and also in case 24 CR 003310C with 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
11 total. 2022 sale of marijuana, obstruction, possession of cocaine. 2021 possession of a firearm by convicted felon. 2020 theft by taking. 2018-19 probation. And theft out of 2017 and a burglary.
Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. There are 2 cases at issue here. Both are family violence cases. In the first incident, the incident happened on May 27th of 2024. Actually, there is also an incident that predates that one. So the most recent incident happened May 27th of 2024. Officers arrived to 2678 Godby Road in reference to a male and female actively fighting. It was the restaurant owner who actually called 911. The officers met with the Miss Amari Payton, who stated she and the defendant had been in a 6-year relationship. She had recently cheated on him, and when she went to the defendant's location, he began beating her, hitting her with a closed fist, and throwing her against the wall. At that time, they did live together. The defendant was arrested, and officers located a substance that was believed to be marijuana on the defendant's person. While he was in the patrol vehicle, he tried to choke himself with the seatbelt. The officer then unwrapped the seatbelt from his neck. The defendant then put his foot in the door, trying to prevent the officer from closing the door, and refused to comply multiple times until the officer had to deploy his OC squad. The second incident occurred on... So that was the first incident. Our second incident, let me just, was on my apologies, Your Honor. It keeps looping me back to the same case number. So I'm trying to access the other one. Okay. So the second incident happened January 5th of 2024. In that incident, that happened at the same location, I believe. Nope. That incident happened at 5115 Old National Highway on January 5th. That was the McDonald's at that location. The defendant intentionally swung and struck Miss Darlene Rich twice with a bag of food, attempting to pull her over and out of the booth she was sitting in, and intentionally spitting on her. As a result of that altercation, Miss Rich stated that her body hurt. As a result of that, she and the defendant were living together at the time. This was also caught on the cameras at that McDonald's and was recorded. So that was a second incident that occurred in full view of everyone, where it occurred in a place where police had to be called out to that location. We have had an opportunity to speak with the victim in the, I believe it is the first case, the May case. She stated that they were in a relationship, but they no longer live together and they share no children. She stated they were at the mall in the parking lot and they got into an argument when he began attacking her, hitting her, pushing her into the wall. She stated this is not the first time the defendant has been violent toward her and not the first time the police have been called. In that case, she stated she had an altercation in January where the police were called, but the defendant fled the scene before police arrived. She further stated she is somewhat in fear of the defendant and is unsure she wants contact with him and she stated she would be on the Zoom today. And that is Miss Amari Payton. And so we would at this time like to sound for Miss Amari Payton, and we would also like to sound for let's see, excuse me just a moment. We would also like to sound for other victim in this case, Miss Darlene Rich.
And before I sound for them, would you like to give me your recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. On this case, we would like to recommend at this point, a $10,000 surety bond. Both of these incidents happened, like I said, in full view of everyone. They are two separate incidents. They are both of a violent nature. We do have serious concerns for the victims in both cases. So the state would ask for a $2,000 surety bond on the 3 simple batteries, which would be $6,000, a $3,000 surety bond on the family violence battery, and a $1,000 surety bond on the willful obstruction. That's all for the state. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, as well as stay away and no further contact. And Ms. Payton appears to be here on the line.
Yes, Ms. Payton, good afternoon. If you'd like to address the court, I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
I would like to drop all the charges. And to have contact with him. I understand that he was just expressing himself in a violent way. I'm not scared of him. I don't fear for my life. Yeah, I understand that he does need like some type of help, some type of help.
Are you in a relationship with Mr. Hughley at the present time?
Yes.
Okay.
Your
Any
Honor,
questions, Ms. Falk?
Very much so, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ma'am, did you have an opportunity to speak with our victim witness advocate today?
No.
Okay, so you were
Well,
not.
yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And do you recall at that time when you spoke to her this morning that you told her that you wanted to move forward, that let me just make sure I have the right information here in my system, but that this is not the first time he has been violent with you? Do you recall telling her that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you also recall telling her that this wasn't the first time police were called?
Yes, ma'am.
And that you were somewhat in fear of the defendant when you spoke
No,
to
ma'am.
her? Okay. You don't recall telling her that when you spoke to her?
No, ma'am. I'm not in fear.
Okay. And you also told her you were in an altercation in January. Do you recall that? Was that at the McDonald's? Are you the
No, ma'am.
Okay, so that was a different individual he had an altercation with at McDonald's. Okay. All right. Have you spoken to the defendant today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor. As I stated, the police have been called multiple times on this defendant for striking women in full view of everyone, including this incident, which happened on video. And for that reason, we would ask for our $10,000 surety bond, stay away and no further contact.
Okay, let's see. And if Ms. Darlene Rich is on the line and would like to address the court, now is your opportunity. Okay. Yes, Mr. Todd.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 24 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He is gainfully employed as a cook. He also earned his GED. I know we heard some history, but the arrest in 2023, the charges were dismissed. The firearm or possession of a firearm, marijuana, willful obstruction. There was one willful obstruction recently, but other than that, I mean, I think he's recommended for a signature bond at level 3, and I believe that that's because of a felony charge in 2016 when he was 17 years old. Ms. Falk can check Odyssey. He has a lot of charges that have been dismissed. So he doesn't have a lot of recent history, certainly no recent violent history. I think a $10,000 surety bond is excessive. And in this case, he does deny the allegations completely. As to the incident in January, he stated he doesn't know who Darlene Rich is. The warrant stating that he lived with her, he doesn't know who it is. He was living with the complaining witness in the case May 27th alleged incident, Miss Payton. And she didn't express any hesitation to me, stated that she did not want to press charges, that she's not afraid of him, and that she does want contact with him. The warrant indicates that the callers were male and female and that they were fighting. So I would say, and I mean, somewhere in the warrant, she was handcuffed and he was handcuffed, of course. So it seems like it was more of a fight, Your Honor. So I would say that he denies the allegations in the warrant. And the complaining witness has stated she doesn't want to press charges. She's not afraid of him. She does want contact with him. And so there's really a huge question as to who that person is in January. The complaining witness also stated she doesn't know who that person is, and same with my client. So he firmly denies the allegations in that case. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, as he is recommended. He's not a flight risk. He returns to court for any court dates that he has, and they have ended up being dismissed in the recently, Your Honor. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services and a no violent contact.
Okay, I'll start with position 10. These will all be signature bonds through pretrial level 3. The battery, a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. The simple battery, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. The obstruction, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3, makes for a total of a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. Given that this allegedly happened only 2 days ago, and what has been told to me, I'm not comfortable with them having contact at the present time. So it'll be no further contact with Ms. Payton at the present time, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. For position 11, for the simple batteries, each will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3, makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. No further contact with Darlene Rich. Stay away from Ms. Rich's home address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. As far as position number 10, there will also be one day anger awareness. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Hughley. You also, Ms. Payton.
Steven, come on, Steven. Position number 13. I'm sorry, position number 20.
Okay. And Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Stevens. You've been charged in case 24 CR 003306C with affray and disrupting a public school. Is there a history, Mr. Howard? Ms. Lewis, is Mr. Howard still there?
We here.
7 total
Okay.
on probation, possession of marijuana out of Peachtree City, and a 2016 FTO.
That's it? Okay, Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened at Young Middle School. The defendant was at that location. It was the host site for an elementary school championship basketball game. The defendant, who at the time of this offense, he was born in 1992, so my math isn't the greatest, but that would put him, I believe, at 32 years old. The defendant was in a fight at that location. He was observed fighting at the exit door near the concession stand. At that point, he was sprayed with OC spray and continued to be disorderly in the rear parking lot of the school and used profane language in front of numerous children in the area. The defendant also engaged by engaging in the fight at the exit door. He did disrupt the operation of Young Middle School. And we ask at this point, the defendant does not have, as you heard, much of a history, so we would ask for a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial services. We would ask that be split into $2,000 on the affray, $1,500 on the disrupting public schools, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Stay away from 3116 Benjamin E. Mays Drive Southwest, which is the Young Middle School, and also 1 day anger awareness. That's all for the state.
Yes, Your Honor, we would like to request for signature on bond through jail. He had 5 children and one of them was deceased recently. Your Honor, this happened on March 28. He has no reason to go to Young Middle School, so no objection to stay away. He does not have many violence history. He's gainfully employed at racetrack and he is married. He has a wife of marriage of 5 years and he has up to 10th grade of education. He's a hardworking father of 5 children. So we would like to request for a signature on bond through jail.
Okay, for the affray, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Disrupting a public school, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. Stay away from Young Middle School, 1 day anger awareness, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Stevens.
Next is number 13, Mincy. Mincy, come on.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Mincy. You've been charged in case 24 CR 003305B with 2 counts of willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history?
First arrest, jail recommendation.
Can I ask, is the co-defendant on this case jail court iPhone? Are they anywhere nearby? And that would be the co-defendant on this is going to be Mr. Giovanni Williams.
What was your question again? I couldn't hear you.
Is Mr. Giovanni Williams also in that? Can he hear us? Is he close enough where he can hear us?
Yes.
Okay, so Your Honor, these 2 are co-defendants. I'd like to just knock them out together if we can.
Oh, yeah. Yes. You ready, Ms. Fox? Oh.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, it broke up a little bit. I couldn't hear you.
Okay, so this is Mr. Williams, I believe, standing behind. Can you hear me, Mr. Williams?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Williams. You've also been charged with 2 counts of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 24 CR 003304B. Does he have a history, Mr. Howard?
8 total. Got an open theft by taking in Superior Court, 22 CP 221-795. Open reckless conduct in state court, 23 CR 002826B. 2023 FTA, 2022 FTA, 2022 simple assault, simple battery, 2021 probation.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, in this case, this happened May 27th, 2024. Officers went to 780 Neal Street Southwest. There was a shots fired at that location call. There were 2 males inside that address who refused to come out of the location. A search warrant was then executed. The Special Weapons and Tactics team was deployed to execute the search warrant. And at about 4 a.m., the team announced several times on the loudspeaker for them to exit the building. No one exited the building. The Special Weapons and Tactics team entered and searched the location. Mr. Giovanni Williams was found in the attic of that location when the officers executed the search warrant. And Mr. Mincy was found, let me see, it looks like he was located also hiding in the attic of the house. So the state's recommendation on Mr. Mincy is going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services, level 1. We are going to ask that he, I'm not sure if Mr. Mincy or Mr. Williams resides there. If they do not, the state is asking for a stay away from 760 Neal Street Northwest in Atlanta. We are also asking for no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. As for Mr. Giovanni Williams, as you heard, he has multiple FTAs. For that reason, the state is asking for a $2,000 surety bond. We are asking that be $1,000 on each. We are asking that he also, unless he lives there, stay away from 780 Neal Street Northwest Atlanta. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. That's all for the state.
Who represents Mr. Mincy?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. McLeod, you can proceed.
Your Honor, I would ask for a signature bond through the jail as recommended by pretrial for my client. He's never been arrested before. He denies that he was hiding from anyone, Your Honor. He said he heard the cops outside and he was just afraid because of the things they were saying and the amount of noise that was being made. But as I say, he's 21 years old. He's never been arrested. So I think a signature bond through the jail would be appropriate.
Does he live
in live at that
Street?
address? He does not live. He does not, Your Honor. He lives in Stockbridge.
Okay. All right. So for each charge, it'll be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from 780 Neal Street, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, Mr. Mincy. And for Mr. Anderson, Ms. Kim?
Yes, actually, Giovanni.
I'm sorry. Yes. It's
Yes.
Mr. Williams. Excuse me.
Yes. Mr. Williams is only 20 years young, and Your Honor, he is residing at 780 Neal Street. Only thing he remembers, it was around like 4 a.m. He was sleeping. He didn't understand what was going on. I don't think he was trying to hide anything. Your Honor, he wants to go back home. He's only 20 years old, and he is actually working for his mother and his big sister, who is the owner of the place. They sell different kinds of snacks. Also, Your Honor, he is pursuing GED as of now. That's it, Your Honor. We would like to request for signature on bond through jail, just like his cousin.
Okay, it will be $1,000 signature bond on each through pretrial, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Judge.
Next
welcome.
one, Mr. Bell.
Williams gonna be per judge.
Okay. Tell me who this is, what position this is again, please.
Number 21.
21, thank you. Mr. Veal, good afternoon. You have been charged in case 24 CR 003298F with driving while your license was suspended or revoked, driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, striking an unattended vehicle, 2 counts, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
16, got an open suspended license in Henry County. 2023 FTA, 2018 ag assault probation conviction, 2016 and 11 FTA, and he's wanted out of Clayton County.
Ms. Falk? Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident happened May 27th, 2024 at 1044 Birch Street. The incident actually started at 1870 Langston Avenue. At that location, Mr. Deontay Cooper stated he was inside of his residence when he heard a loud noise from the outside. He went outside and saw a Nissan Altima in a collision with his parked vehicle. Upon sight, the defendant who was driving the vehicle attempted to flee the location. Mr. Copeland and his friend, DeAndre Cooper, then jumped into Mr. Cooper's vehicle and followed the defendant's vehicle. While following, the defendant caused another collision at 1044 Birch Street Southwest, where he entered a private property driveway and struck Mr. Oliveira's parked motor vehicle. The momentum of hitting that vehicle caused Mr. Oliveira's car to then strike and damage the front porch of the residence. That's when 911 was called. Everybody was still on the scene, including the defendant. The officers talked to the defendant. He said he attempted to flee the original location due to being scared. His breath smelled heavily of alcohol. He was unsteady on his feet. There were clear signs of DUI. He did say he called his girlfriend to the scene and did attempt to flee in her vehicle, but was detained by the officer before he could flee. The defendant also sustained a busted lip due to striking the other vehicle. He did not have a license. His license was suspended, and I believe there was marijuana found on his person upon his arrest. The state's recommendation on this, Your Honor, as you heard, the defendant has an open warrant out of he is wanted out of Clayton County, has multiple FTAs, is on probation for an aggravated assault. It's lucky that he didn't really hurt or kill anyone. Luckily, no one was in the multiple cars that he struck while driving drunk. So for that reason, the state is going to ask for a $3,000 surety bond on the driving under the influence of alcohol, and a $1,000 surety bond on the driving while license suspended in 2 counts of striking an unattended vehicle, and a $500 surety bond in the possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That's going to be a total of $6,500 surety bond, no driving whatsoever. He currently does not have a license, so he should not be driving any motor vehicle, and also no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. We furthermore ask for an ADET in this case. That's all for the state. And we would like to sound for Mr. Oliveira or Mr. Deontay Copeland. Nicholas Oliveira.
To address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Okay. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Veal is 43 years old, and Your Honor, he is currently gainfully employed as an erosion control personnel, and he has 8 children, Your Honor. So even though he is making money, he's employed, he's still qualified for public defender services. I do not think he has any money financially right now to pay for a bond. And he has a foreign county hold anyway, so he has to be at the jail waiting for the another county to pick him up for a long time. So I would like to request for a signature on bond through jail for these charges, driving offenses. He has no objection to have no driving unless he has a valid license, and that's about it, Your Honor. Thanks.
Okay, these will all be good bonds. The DUI, 1,500, good. Suspended license, 500, good. Striking unattended vehicle, 500, good. Possession of marijuana, 500, good. Makes for a total of $3,500 good. No driving without a valid license. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck, Mr. Veal.
You should be 3,000, Your Honor.
500 for the first count. 1,500 for the second count. 500 for each of the striking unattended vehicles. 500 for the marijuana possession.
So we have 2 striking unattended vehicles?
Yes.
He struck 2 different vehicles, yes.
Okay, you got it, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Who do we have next?
Stand by, Judge. We got to get position number 4, and he will be the last person.
Okay.
That's a good one.
You got to go.
Is it number 4, PD Cook's case? I'll call him.
Okay.
What? I'm gonna be here.
Yeah, you gotta hold anyway, man.
You're on the speakerphone.
Mr. Crockett,
Yes.
I'm here.
Okay, they're still getting him, Mr. Cook.
Judge,
Yes.
I was unable to get position number 1. You want to fill me in on that bond amount?
Yes, Ms. Bridgewater, it's $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the Domain nightclub on Crescent Avenue.
Okay. So let me ask you this. While they're getting that defendant, do you want to go over the calendar?
We can if you would like to. I didn't know how long they were gonna take.
Love to.
Okay, so
Okay.
is everyone ready to do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Bridgewater.
Okay, so position number 1 is being reset further notice with $1,000 SOB through the jail. Position number 2 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through this. Going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good fund. 4 is we're holding on. 5 is reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 6 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 7, reset further notice with a total $1,000 SOB through the jail. 8, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through the jail. 9, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 10 is reset further notice with a total $6,000 SOB through pretrial. And both positions 10 and 11 are going to be level 3. Position number 11 is a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 12 is reset further notice with a total $1,000 SOB through the jail. 13, reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through the jail. 14, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 15, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. 16, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. 17 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 18, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. 19 is going to the SAP calendar with a $500 cash bond. 20 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 21 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $3,500 good. 22 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial with a cosigner. 23 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good fund. 24 is reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. 25 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise? Oh, I froze on 24. Okay. Can you all hear me?
We can.
Okay, they told me I froze on 24.
Okay, I got you, but I'm not sure if everyone else did. So,
We good. Okay.
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 All right. So we still have position 4, so we'll be in recess until they bring us Mr. Crockett.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We're ready. Position number 4, Mr. Crockett. Sit right here, sir.
What?
Mr. Crockett, good afternoon. You've been charged in case 24 CR 003312D with criminal trespass. Is there a history?
13. He went to felony earlier for burglary. I'm still trying to get that bond. 2018 trespass dismissed. Probation from 2013 and 15. And a 2011 possession of tools, criminal attempt to commit a felony conviction.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place May 28th, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a trespass call at the 1295 West Apartments. The address is 1345 Donnelly Avenue Southwest in Atlanta. Mario Crockett was observed entering and found inside of apartment C1, who was previously trespassed from that location on April 30th of 2024. State's recommendation, Your Honor, the signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the 1295 West Apartments. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Does he need assistance with housing, Ms. Kim?
Petty Cook. Petty Cook is to answer, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Mr. Cook?
Help with housing.
I didn't hear what he said, Ms. Kim.
He accepts a recommendation, and he does have a residential challenge. So we are going to send out social worker services, Your Honor.
Okay, so it'll be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the 1295 West location, and a social worker visit to assist with housing, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Okay. All right. Did you get that, jail courts?
Yes, I received.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
good. All right. Have a good rest of your afternoon.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. I think she spoke for us all. Y'all have a good rest of the day. We'll
Thank
see
you.
y'all next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Judge, the paperwork is on its way.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bridgewater.
Mhm.